Hey guys, Jess here, and today we're talking creepy things that go bump in the night. The kind of books that make you not want to hang your feet over the edge of the bed, you know what I mean? Just in case something tickles the bottom of your feet. I don't know, it's such a weird fear, but I swear, the fear is real. It's time for some horror recommendations. In no particular order, here are some awesome horror books that I absolutely adore and highly recommend. Obscura by Joe Hart, published in 2018 by Thomas and Mercer. In the near future, an aggressive and terrifying new form of dementia is affecting victims of all ages. The cause is unknown, and the symptoms are disturbing. Dr. Gillian Ryan is on the cutting edge of research and desperately determined to find a cure. She's already lost her husband to the disease, and now her young daughter is slowly succumbing as well. After losing her funding, she's given a unique opportunity to expand her research. She will travel with a NASA team to a space station where the crew has been stricken with symptoms of a similar, inexplicable psychosis, memory loss, trances, and violent, uncontrollable impulses. Crippled by a secret addiction and suffering from creeping paranoia, Gillian finds her journey becoming a nightmare as unexplainable and violent events plague the mission. With her grip weakening on reality, she starts to doubt her own innocence, and she's beginning to question so much more, like the true nature of the mission, the motivations of the crew, and every deadly new secret space has to offer. Merging thrilling science fiction adventure with mind-bending psychological suspense, Wall Street Journal best-selling author Joe Hart explores the vast mysteries of outer space and the even darker unknown that lies within ourselves. I honestly could not put this down. The beginning really tugs at your heartstrings, and being a mum myself, I couldn't imagine losing my husband and my daughter to a disease that there's no cure for. I got real Ripley vibes from Dr. Gillian Ryan. I loved that she was a strong mum protagonist. If you like Lost in Space and Alien, you will enjoy the heck out of Obscura. Make sure you go and show Joe Hart some love once you've read it. He's an amazing author and he needs more hype than he gets. Everything's Eventual by Stephen King, published in 2002 by Hodder and Stoughton. I hope I'm saying that right. Now, it's true that Stephen King can be a bit wordy, but he is the master of world building and character connections. By the end of his novels, it almost feels like you're saying goodbye to a friend, you know what I mean? And that's how all fiction novels should be. You need to have an emotional investment in the characters if you want to get sucked into the story. Everything's Eventual is a great beginner read for those who want to start reading The King but feel a little bit intimidated. Don't worry, I felt exactly the same. Everything's Eventual is a collection of short stories, 14 to be exact. These stories are short enough to feel like they don't drag, but long enough to hook you in and make you want to read more. I highly recommend listening to the audiobook as well. Well-known actors such as Justin Long, Oliver Platt, and many others lend their voices to bring these stories to life. Imagine reading about someone who finds themselves in an autopsy room, on a morgue table, about to be sliced open, and they physically can't move or scream for help. Or staying in a cursed hotel room on the 13th floor of the Dolphin Hotel, room 1408. Side note, there's a reason why 1408 got a movie adaptation. This story and the others in this collection will draw you in and make you want to keep reading. If you're a lover of suspenseful horror and don't quite want to commit to a whole novel, this one's for you. A Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay, published in 2016 by Titan Books. If The Exorcist and Paranormal Activity had a baby, this would be its offspring. The lives of the Barretts, a suburban New England family, are torn apart when 14-year-old Marjorie begins to display signs of acute schizophrenia. To her parents' despair, the doctors are unable to halt Marjorie's descent into madness. As their stable home devolves into a house of horrors, they reluctantly turn to a local Catholic priest for help, and soon find themselves the unwitting stars of The Possession, a hit reality television show. 15 years later, a best-selling writer interviews Marjorie's younger sister, Mary, as she recalls the terrifying events that took place when she was just 8 years old. Long buried secrets and painful memories begin to surface, and a mind-bending tale of psychological horror is unleashed. Throughout this whole book, I couldn't work out if I hated Marjorie or I felt sorry for her. I kept flip-flopping between the two, and to this day, I still don't know. It really leaves it up to the reader to interpret what they believe to be the truth, which I love. Paul Tremblay digs his hooks into you and makes you feel like you're part of the family, affected by everything that's taking place. Not to mention, a story that Marjorie tells in this book, Growing Things, is the title of Paul's newest book, which is so cool. He's built his own little world, much like Stephen King and Joe Hill. They're little Easter eggs for those who've read his other books. Avid Tremblay fans can really appreciate the way he's fleshing out his universe, and I can't wait to read more by him. Doubt by Yoshiki Tonogai. Published in 2008 by Square Enix. Doubt, also known as Rabbit Doubt, is a shonen horror manga. This is the first in a series which focuses on the Rabbit Doubt phone game. With similar rules to Mafia, the players must find the wolf, or killer, amongst their group of rabbits as they are picked off one by one. 6 players of this game find themselves trapped in a building with one of the group already dead. To avoid the same fate, the remaining 5 must play a real-life game of Rabbit Doubt and find the liar among them. The fact that this was published by Square Enix was an automatic seal of approval for me. Being a fan of their Final Fantasy games, it's safe to say that their lore and character building is on point. I love that this manga begins so relatable, with a group of friends playing a game on an app together. It gets pretty dark. If you love slash and gore, this is right up your alley. Not only is there a lot of body horror, the series delves into what makes a person good or bad. If you've made mistakes, do you deserve to be punished or tortured or killed? Reading this, you think about your own morals and what you would do if you were in the same situation. Gore? Psychological terror? Should you read it? Hell yeah! Anna Dressed in Blood by Ken Dare Blake, published in 2011 by Orchard Books, which is a division of Hachette. This is for those of you wanting to just dip your toes, just a little bit into horror, just a smidge. It's a YA novel, so I'd say this is safe for 12 and up, depending on the reader. It felt like an episode of Supernatural, minus Sam and Dean, and insert Cass Lowood. Cass Lowood is no ordinary guy. He hunts dead people. People like Anna Dressed in Blood, a beautiful, murderous ghost entangled in curses and rage. Cass knows he must destroy her, but as her tragic past is revealed, he starts to understand why Anna has killed everyone who's ever dared to enter her spooky home. Everyone, that is, except Cass. Just your average boy meets girl, girl kills people story. It has ghosts and romance, the best of both worlds. From the first page, you can already get a feel for the story. It's a really great read for any age, but especially for those who want to take a slow start to horror. Nightfall by Jake Halpern and Peter Kujawinski, published in 2015 by Hotkey Books, which is a division of Bonnier Publishing. This one is also classed as a YA read. I'd say if you've read Goosebumps and even Fear Street and want to step it up a few notches, you'll enjoy Nightfall. On Marin and Kana's island, sunrise doesn't come every 24 hours. It comes every 28 years. The twins and the rest of their village are making preparations to leave, but Marin finds the eerie rituals frustrating. Tables must be set as if for dinner, but no one will tell her why. And then, just as they're about to sail, Marin and Kana's best friend Line goes missing. They know where he's gone, and that they're the only ones who will risk saving him. But will the ships wait? Night is falling. Their island is changing, and something is stirring in the dark. Fear, darkness, courage, survival. This book has it in spades. The fact that every 28 years they know the darkness will engulf the island, it makes you feel sort of an eerie dread. Like when you know someone's watching you from the darkness. Yes, I just looked behind myself. Just a tad paranoid. Nightfall is a hell of a read. Not too scary for tweens, but also scary enough for a more mature lady like myself. And that wraps up my very first horror recommendations video. Let me know if you've read any of these and what you thought, and what do you plan to read from this list. Make sure to leave a comment below and tell me what you want to see next. If you like this video, give the like button a little poke. Okay, bye!